where big law meets big business. This is the Big Law Business Report. I'm your host, Brian Brown. Joining me in the studio today is Dearl Wrenn, CEO of Wrenn IT Solutions. Let's get started. Where big law meets big business. This is the Big Law Business Report. I'm your host, Brian Brown. Joining me in the studio today is Mr. Dearl Wrenn, CEO of Wrenn IT Solutions. Dearl, thanks so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
It's my pleasure. So, Dearl, you have a long history in the IT cybersecurity world, and particularly with disaster recovery and business continuity. So, let's talk about business continuity. Here's what I think business continuity is. I came to work today, my colleagues and I, we turned our computer, all the screens went blue. And we have a filing due at our law firm, or we have something that needs to get to a client. Now what?
Well, Brian, if you had that business continuity plan in place, you would pull out that plan, and that plan would direct you, depending on the risk that's involved, how to go about recovering, how the business would go about recovering that data and get back in operations.
Okay, so not just call my CIO and yell at that person? I guess that's not really part of a very effective plan.
Well, you could do that, Brian, but that may not get you the results that you're looking for.
Gotcha.
There are several things that the business continuity plan covers. One would be to protect the business in the event of an unplanned IT event. So let's say you had a flood in the basement. Your computers are located in the basement. You had a flood there, and the building engineer had to shut down power to all the systems.
Sure.
So what would you do?
Yell at the computer engineer. All right.
No,
that's still not a good strategy, huh?
You would look at your backups and try to restore your backups. But then you run into the situation as, well, what am I going to recover first? What systems do I need? What IT infrastructure do I need in place to be able to get my people back working? Gotcha. Because the last thing you want is to have your employees sitting there just wondering, okay, well, when is the system going to come up? Just waiting.
Exactly.
And at the same time, money is flying out the window.
Among other things, and as you know, it's a Big Law Business Report. My company works a lot with law firms, particularly with law firms when there's a filing that's due. And maybe the judge will give the lawyer a little bit of leeway because they have something, but again, maybe they won't. And I would imagine not having a plan in place could be extremely detrimental. Dearl, don't go anywhere. We need to go to a break. I want to continue this conversation with you.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back on the Big Law Business Report.